Hello, and welcome. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling confused? Maybe someone made you doubt yourself. Maybe you felt guilty, even though you didn't really do anything wrong. If that has ever happened to you, you might have experienced something called psychological manipulation. Today, we're going to talk about dark psychology and the subtle mind games people use to control others. Don't worry, the goal of this video is not to make you paranoid. It's to help you recognize these behaviors so you can protect your mind, your emotions, and your peace. Let's begin. 1. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is one of the most common manipulation tactics. It happens when someone makes you question your own memory or reality. For example, you might clearly remember something that happened, but the other person insists, "That never happened. You're imagining things. You're too sensitive." Over time, this can make you doubt yourself. And once you start doubting yourself, the manipulator gains control. Always remember this. Your feelings and experiences are valid. 2. Guilt tripping. Another powerful mind game is guilt tripping. A manipulator might say things like, "After everything I've done for you, I guess I just don't matter to you." The goal here is simple. They want you to feel guilty so that you do what they want. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, not guilt. 3. Love bombing. At first, love bombing can feel amazing. Someone gives you endless compliments, constant attention, messages all day. It feels like you've met the most caring person in the world. But sometimes this intense affection is not genuine. Manipulators use love bombing to create emotional dependency. Once you're attached, the behavior suddenly changes. The affection disappears and control begins. 4. Playing the victim. Some manipulators constantly position themselves as the victim. No matter what happens, they are always the one who has been hurt, even when they are clearly responsible. This tactic shifts the focus away from their actions and onto your sympathy. You might start comforting them instead of addressing the real problem. 5. Silent treatment. Silence can be peaceful, but it can also be used as a weapon. The silent treatment is when someone intentionally ignores you to punish you. No explanation, no communication, just distance. This creates anxiety and makes you desperate to fix things even when you didn't do anything wrong. Healthy communication should never involve emotional punishment. 6. Triangulation. Triangulation is when a manipulator brings a third person into the situation to create jealousy or insecurity. For example, they might say, "Other people agree with me. My friend thinks you're overreacting." This tactic makes you feel outnumbered and unsure of yourself. But often, the third person isn't even involved. 7. Emotional blackmail. Emotional blackmail sounds dramatic, but it happens more often than people realize. Someone might say, "If you leave me, I don't know what I'll do." Or, "If you really loved me, you would do this." These statements pressure you to make decisions based on fear and obligation. Real love never uses threats. 8. Constant criticism. Manipulators often use subtle criticism to slowly lower your confidence. Small comments, repeated over time. "You're not very good at that," or "You're lucky I put up with you." Eventually, you might start believing these things, and when your self-esteem drops, controlling you becomes easier. 9. moving the goalposts. In this tactic, the expectations constantly change. You meet one requirement, but suddenly there's another and another. No matter how hard you try, it's never enough. This creates exhaustion and keeps you seeking their approval. 10. Creating confusion. Finally, some manipulators intentionally create confusion. They give mixed signals: hot one day, cold the next, kind, then distant. This emotional unpredictability keeps you constantly trying to figure out what's happening. And while you're trying to figure it out, they maintain control. Final thoughts. Understanding these tactics is incredibly powerful because once you recognize manipulation, it loses its power over you. Healthy relationships should make you feel safe, respected, and emotionally secure. If someone repeatedly makes you feel confused, guilty, or small, it might be time to take a step back. Trust your instincts and protect your peace. Thank you for listening, and take care of your mind. Take a quiet moment with me. Think about the last time someone made you feel uncomfortable during a conversation. Not angry, not even sad, just confused. Maybe you kept thinking about it later, wondering what exactly happened. The truth is, some people use subtle psychological tactics to influence the way others think, feel, and behave. This is often called dark psychology. And today, we're going to gently explore 10 mind games manipulators often use. Not so you can fear people, but so you can recognize these patterns and protect your emotional well-being. Let's begin. 1. The illusion of authority. Some manipulators act as if they know everything. They speak with extreme confidence, even when they are wrong. Because when someone sounds certain, people naturally assume they must be correct. This tactic quietly shifts power in the conversation. But remember, confidence does not always equal truth. 2. Selective kindness. Have you ever noticed someone who is kind only when they want something? This is called selective kindness. They might praise you one moment, then become distant the next. The kindness is not genuine. It's a strategy to keep you emotionally invested. 3. The confusion technique. Confusion can be a powerful tool. Some manipulators purposely change their stories or contradict themselves. You might start questioning what was actually said or what really happened. And while you're trying to make sense of everything, the manipulator quietly gains control of the situation. Clarity removes manipulation, so always trust clear communication. 4. Playing on your empathy. Kind people often have strong empathy. Manipulators know this, so they may exaggerate their struggles or constantly present themselves as helpless. This triggers your natural desire to help. But over time, the relationship becomes one-sided. You keep giving while they keep taking. 5. Creating urgency. Another subtle tactic is false urgency. A manipulator might say, "You need to decide right now. This opportunity won't come again." This pressure forces quick decisions without giving you time to think. Healthy decisions rarely require panic. Take your time. 6. The comparison trap. Sometimes manipulation comes in the form of comparison. Statements like, "Why can't you be more like them?" or "Other people don't have this problem." These comparisons slowly damage self-confidence, and once someone feels insecure, they may try harder to gain approval, which gives the manipulator more influence. 8. Emotional withdrawal. Some people withdraw affection to gain control. One day they're warm and supportive, the next they seem distant and cold. This sudden shift creates anxiety. You may start trying harder to please them just to bring back the kindness, but affection should never be used as a reward system. 9. Flattery with a hidden motive. Flattery can feel wonderful. Everyone enjoys compliments, but manipulators sometimes use excessive praise to lower your defenses. Once trust is established, they begin asking for favors or influence. True compliments feel natural, not strategic. 10. Blame shifting. In blame shifting, the manipulator refuses responsibility. No matter what happens, the fault somehow becomes yours. This tactic slowly shifts the emotional burden onto you, and over time, you might begin apologizing for things that were never your fault. Healthy people take responsibility for their actions. The cycle of reward and punishment. Finally, some manipulators create a repeating emotional cycle. Kindness followed by distance, praise followed by criticism. This unpredictable pattern keeps you emotionally hooked. You keep hoping the kindness will return. But stable relationships do not depend on emotional roller coasters. They are steady, safe, and consistent. Final thoughts. Understanding these mind games is not about judging others. It's about protecting your mental clarity and emotional balance. When you learn to recognize manipulation, something powerful happens. You stop reacting automatically. Instead, you pause, you observe, and you choose how to respond. And that quiet awareness is where true emotional strength begins. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of your mind, your boundaries, and your peace.